It's the year 2026. Two people, both 65 years old, walk away from their jobs for the last time. They both have exactly $500,000 in their 401ks. They live in the same neighborhood, shop at the same grocery store, and face the exact same stock market. Fast forward 20 years. Retiree A has $147,000 left. They've spent the last decade terrified of every headline, cutting back on heating, and wondering if they'll have to move into their kid's basement. Retiree B? They now have $2.1 million. They've traveled, they've lived well, and they're actually wealthier now than the day they retired. What's the difference? It wasn't luck, it wasn't a hot tip on a tech stock, and it certainly wasn't the 4% rule your advisor has been preaching since the 90s. The 4% rule is dead. Today, I'm going to show you the secret formula that institutional wealth managers use to turn a modest nest egg into a self-sustaining fortune. We're moving past the save and pray model. I'm breaking down the 3-bucket strategy, the only system that allows you to spend your money and grow it at the same time. If you're within 10 years of retirement, or if you've already stopped working, what we're about to discuss isn't just financial advice. It's your survival guide for the next 30 years. The problem, the hidden assassin of retirement. Before we get to the buckets, we have to talk about why most retirement plans fail. It's a concept called sequence of returns risk. Most people think that if the market averages 7% over 30 years, they're safe. That is a dangerous lie. In retirement, the average return doesn't matter nearly as much as the order of those returns. If the market crashes 20% in the first 3 years of your retirement, and you're forced to sell your stocks to pay for your mortgage and groceries, you are effectively locking in those losses. You are killing your money trees while they're still saplings. This is the hidden assassin. Once your portfolio is gutted in those early years, it can almost never recover, no matter how good the market gets later. This is why William Bengen's famous 4% rule, the idea that you can safely withdraw 4% of your money every year, is under fire. Even the latest research from Morningstar and experts like Wade Pfau suggests that in today's volatile world, 3.3% might be the only safe bet. But who wants to live on 3.3%? On a $500,000 portfolio, that's $16,500 a year. That's not a retirement plan, but a vow of poverty. There's a better way. A way to stop being a victim of the market and start being the manager of your own private endowment. The value, the 3-bucket system. This is the bucket approach. It was popularized by Christine Benz at Morningstar, and it's designed to solve one problem: emotional panic. When the market drops 500 points, most retirees panic because they see their spending money evaporating. The bucket system stops that by separating your spending from your growth. Bucket 1, the shield. This bucket holds 1 to 2 years of your immediate living expenses. Not your whole portfolio, just what you need to live on after Social Security. This goes into high-yield savings, CDs, or money market funds. The goal here isn't growth. The goal is when the S&P 500 is bleeding red, you don't care. Why? Because your groceries for the next 24 months are already sitting in a vault, untouched by the market. This bucket is your psychological armor. It buys you the most valuable asset in retirement, which is time. Bucket 2, the bridge. This bucket holds 3 to 7 years of expenses. Here, we're looking for stability with a hint of growth. We're talking high-quality bonds, dividend-paying stocks, or TIPs. This is the bridge. Its job is to refill bucket 1 when it gets low. If the market is flat, bucket 2 provides the yield to keep you afloat without touching your growth engine. Bucket 3, the engine. This is where the magic happens. Everything else goes here. Low-cost S&P 500 index funds, total market funds, maybe some international exposure. Here's the secret. You never touch this bucket for spending. Its only job is to compound. Because you have buckets 1 and 2 covering you for the next 7 to 9 years, bucket 3 has the permission to be aggressive. It can ride out a recession. It can sit through a decade of volatility. While everyone else is selling their stocks at a 30% discount just to pay their electric bill, you are sitting on your hands, letting bucket 3 explode in value. This is how 500K becomes 2 million. The math, the 500K to 2 million transformation. Let's look at the numbers. Let's say you need $20,000 a year from your portfolio to supplement your Social Security. Bucket 1, you put $40,000 in cash. Bucket 2, you put $100,000 in bonds and dividends. Bucket 3, you put the remaining $360,000 into a growth engine. Now, imagine a lost decade happens. The market does nothing for 5 years. Retiree A, who has all their money in one pot, is withdrawing $20K a year while the market is down. Their balance is shrinking physically and mathematically. But you spend your $40K from bucket 1. Then you slowly refill it from the interest and principal in bucket 2. Your $360,000 in bucket 3, it stays untouched. If that $360K in bucket 3 averages 8%, which is below the historical average of the S&P 500, look what happens. After 10 years, that $360K is now $777K. After 20 years, it's $1.67 million. Add in your remaining cash and your bridge assets, and your total net worth is well over $2 million. You have spent 20 years living your life, and you ended up 4 times richer than when you started. This is the portfolio manager mindset. You aren't spending down an account, but rather you're managing a flow of capital. Retention, the hidden 4th bucket. Now, before you go out and move your money, I have to warn you about the 3 mistakes that break this system. Mistake 1, the early years splurge. The first 5 years of retirement are the most expensive years of your life, not just because you're traveling, but because of compounding. Every dollar you spend in year 1 is actually costing you the $10 that dollar would have become in year 20. If you overspend from bucket 1 early, you starve the growth engine. Mistake 2, the rebalancing panic. You have to be disciplined. When bucket 3 has a massive year, say it goes up 20%, you have to harvest those gains and move them back into bucket 1 and 2. You sell high to ensure you never have to sell low. Mistake 3, ignoring the 4th bucket. Most retirees overlook their home equity. If you're sitting in a $500,000 house that's too big for you, you're sitting on a dormant bucket. Let's say you downsize. You sell the $500K house, buy a beautiful condo for $350K, and move that $150K difference into your bucket 3 growth engine. That $150K, compounding at 8% over 20 years, adds an extra $700,000 to your final net worth. That is the difference between a comfortable retirement and a generational wealth retirement. Retirement is not the end of your financial life. It's just the beginning of a different game. The old way, the 4% and pray way, is defensive. It's built on fear. It's built on the hope that the market won't crash and you won't live too long. The bucket strategy is offensive. It's built on structure. It's the realization that a market crash isn't a crisis. It's just a bucket 3 buying opportunity, while your bucket 1 keeps the lights on. If you're feeling anxious about your number, stop looking at the total balance and start looking at the structure. Can you cover the next 2 years in cash? Can you cover the 5 years after that in stable income? If the answer is yes, then give your growth assets the permission to do what they do best: create wealth. And if you're wondering which specific index fund should live in your bucket 3 to maximize that growth, you need to watch this video next, where I break down the ultimate 3-fund portfolio for 2026. Stop surviving retirement. Start winning it. I'll see you in the next one.